Hello, welcome this evening. It's Tuesday night. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm from another room. I think I got a little better camera. We'll see how this goes tonight. Um, and tonight I thought we'd talk a little bit about Cheech and Chong. Um, so before we do that, I'm going to do one more because it'd be a little short if I just did Cheech and Chong tonight. So I'm going to do Sam Kinison as well. Let's see. Have to back up a little bit. But yeah, you'll be able to see the whole album there. I get a little more mobility with this too. So Sam Kinison, he's I like him a lot. A lot of people don't like his humor, but he's a little aggressive. He was a former preacher, I believe, from Illinois, actually. And I was introduced to him. I remember seeing him on TV a few times, but actually won tickets and went and saw him live at the local Westport Playhouse. It was a small venue in and around. It was very entertaining. It's a little gruff. I was still in high school, so probably wasn't old enough to actually be there, but it was a very good show. And then he definitely embraced the rock and roll lifestyle. Got involved with his second album, Have You Seen Me Lately? They said he got involved with a lot of rock stars. They hung out enough. They actually did some audio recording, did a version of Wild Thing, and video had Jessica Hahn, I believe, in it. And then his third album, leader of the band, the whole second side was actually musical. And it was actually just covers, done pretty well. But it was very comedy related, but it was pretty entertaining. Interesting thing, he was actually starting to kind of said he had embraced the rock and roll lifestyle and got involved with a lot of drugs and alcohol, but was kind of cleaning up at the time that that last album came out, and then had the car accident and passed away. He had one album after that. I'm not sure if it was out on vinyl, but yeah. So Sam Kinison's very interesting performer. Said very aggressive and not everyone's cup of tea, but I read something once where Eric Idle said, if comedy is safe, it's not really comedy. Good comedy has to be a little bit dangerous and kind of push the boundaries. All right, so I go through my Cheech and Chong collection. I have most of their albums. This is their first one. Came out in, I believe, 1969-70. With Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong, both kind of hung out with a lot of bands. Tommy Chong was actually in a doo-wop band in the 60s from Quebec and had a hit actually with them. But Cheech was hanging out in LA, and they ended up in a band doing opening act for bands, and became basically part of the rock and roll band story there. But this is our first album. And had a lot of drug references. Part of the reason I chose this tonight is I read that apparently in Illinois, the weed dispensaries have been considered essential during the lockdown, so they have to stay open. So since weed's essential, we stick with Cheech and Chong. Who else better represent that? So that was their first album. And then their second album is Los Chicanos. They actually had really good artwork and creators for their album covers. Die cut with them in there in drag, and then this one had Tyrone Shoelaces doing Basketball Jones, which actually had George Harrison on guitar. And again, they had hung out with a lot of rock bands that were very influential. Their third album was Big Bamboo. Had some really nice things. They were interesting, but probably not dangerous. Here's the inside cover. Them at their wedding. And then I think this one I actually bought in high school. I picked up a couple copies, but this one still has the original rolling paper, which is apparently quite collectible. And I believe this was their first album, Sleeping Beauty. Again, had a lot of drug references, but they wrote a lot of other humor too. They'll talk about the other comedians that really influenced them. They basically just took other, and the person who did the artwork was pretty nice on their albums, but they would do comedy basically that they grew up with and just kind of rewrote it with Roy Arrington. If you listen closely, it's actually just reworkings of older material. By this album, they were actually their wedding album. They were actually, I think this one of the first albums I brought in high school. I think I bought it at Grandpa Pigeon's, actually. They spent some money. Blue Adler was their manager, who actually recorded a lot of bands in LA as well. But once they got to their first movie, I remember watching that with my father. And it was right before he cleaned up, so it's probably one of the last movies he sat and hung out and watched Ty with us. But there is that had "Earache My Eye," which was their classic hit song, and the movie was actually very good. And at some point, we'll go through all their movies. I do have those as well. And then our last after their movie, did a couple movies. They did have one album that they owed Warner Brothers, so this was their last album. It's kind of similar to the Cheech and Chong. It was like make a new dope deal. Didn't do as much work, and redid some stuff. One thing nice about this 17th American Tour actually is where Cheech and Chong did a version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which I've used a few times on the Christmas album. We're gonna have to get to some Christmas stuff at some point soon. And they also had a single, Santa Claus is His Old Lady, which actually definitely a 70s Christmas hit. Doesn't and Never on album was on a 45, and I've got it on a collection on CD. And we'll get to that sometime. And then their final album, they signed a deal with MCA Records. We're trying to kind of make a comeback. It was right before they kind of split up for many years. Get Out of My Room was actually very much musical. It was driven a little more by Cheech than Tommy Chong at this point. And Born in East LA was on here, and shortly after that, Cheech went on and made the movie Born in East LA. Tommy Chong went on and did Far Out Man and a couple other ones. So it was obvious that they were stronger as a team than they were individually. They both have had good careers since then. One last thing I'd like to share, just because I thought it was cool, is this. About 2 months ago at Half Price Books, I got another copy of Los Chicanos and their first album in the 99-cent bin, or dollar bin. But apparently, and as best I can tell from looking online, it is legit. Tommy Chong signed these albums for someone. The albums are really beat up, but they are signed by Tommy Chong, so it was kind of a nice pickup. That's about all I had tonight. It's a little short. I wasn't sure what else to talk about this evening. Trying to talk about something I can get more into, more in depth. Like I said, we're hearing one of their last album, Background, very 80s sounding. We're coming from the record room today, so do a quick pan. I haven't actually been up here much for a while, but I've been working from the basement. As you can see, there's a lot of records in the background, and we haven't even started to get into CDs and music, so I can ramble on for a while for the next couple of months. So if there's anything in particular you'd like me to pull out and talk about or show, I'm happy to do that. Everyone stay safe. It's going to be interesting times for the next few weeks, but definitely want everyone I know to be around when this is all over. Stay safe and have a good evening.